Hi, this is Bill Mounts, and I wanted to let you know about a new offering from Accordance that we've been working together for some time to come up with what they call the Mounts Greek Study System. It's a series of modules that you can use if you know a little bit of Greek or a lot of Greek to get into the text and to especially do Greek word studies. Let me show you the different pieces of it. It starts with the Mounts translation. This is the translation that my dad did for our interlinears. And it's a translation that's somewhere between the ESV and the NIV in its translation philosophy. It's a little more flexible than the ESV is, but it's pretty close to going word for word whenever it can. I think you'll enjoy it a lot. If you do your mouse overs, you can look down in the instant details and you can see the lexical data. So narrow is a translation of the Greek word stenos. Its GK number is 5101. If you have the GNT text, the Greek text, you will also see the inflected information. In other words, in this case, the inflected form is stene, and it's an adjective, feminine, singular, nominative. And of course, if you have the GNT text, you can show it side by side, and you can do your mouse overs, and you can see how it works. One of the really nice features that Accordance added into version 9.5 is phrase tagging. If we go down here to the end of Matthew 7:14, you can see that "and" translates the kai, "few" is oligoi, "are" is asin, "those" is a translation of the article hoi, and then "who find" is a translation of the participle heuriskontes. Now, in the past, you couldn't tell that two English words were translating a single Greek word, but in my translation, you can now see that. So, "who find" together translates heuriskontes. Now, you notice that the highlighting is a little darker over the "find." That's our way of saying, among the words in the phrase, this one is the closest one to the Greek. But you need both English words, "who find," to translate the Greek properly. That's a new feature in Accordance and a very, very powerful one. Now, if you buy the Mounts translation, what you're also going to get is my concise dictionary. So if you go up here to Life and triple click on it, then you can see my entry over here for Zoe. And the dictionary definitions are a little bit more complete than perhaps you're used to. You have verses and you can do the mouse overs, and so you can see the full translation down there. If you'd rather see the translations in Greek, you just click anywhere in the tool, go up under Display, Set Tool Display, and then choose the translation that you want. Let's say the GNT. Set it as a default if you want to. And now when you do your mouse overs, they're going to come up in Greek. Now, some really neat features that were added into the Concise Dictionary is including both the GK number and the Strong's number. Now, in my stuff, I tend to use GK numbers. And if you click on the GK number, which for Zoe is 2437, what you get is an old Englishman's concordance. In other words, here's every place in the Mounts translation that the Greek word Zoe is translated. And of course, you can open up a Greek text and show that as well. If you click on the Strong's number, you get exactly the same thing, but this time the keyword search is being done in the ESV. Now, if you don't have an ESV-S, the Strong's version, then you won't be able to use this. And if you want, you can bring up another translation to do your comparisons as well. If you click on the frequency, what you get is a Greek concordance, again, assuming you've bought the GNT text. Now, these searches are all hardwired into the Mounts translation and the Concise Dictionary, so you have to have those three translations for this feature to work. Now, there's one other really powerful feature that they put into this Concise Dictionary, and that is if you go to the end and there's an arrow, you do a mouse over, you can see that this indicates a cross-reference to my expository dictionary. If you click on Life, then you actually go to my expository dictionary, and here you can see we've gone to Give Life. Well, there's 3 hits. In other words, there's 3 places that Zoe is going to occur. So if you click the down mark arrow, you get to the actual article on life. And if you're not aware of this feature, it's really important. Instead of just clicking on the browser, hold down the Option key and then click on the browser. And what it does, it takes you right to the article. And you can go down to New Testament and open it up and go, oh, there's Zoe. And it's just a quick way to get down to the Zoe article. So a lot more information about what Zoe means. And you go through it. And if you, for whatever reason, want more information, check the end of the article. If there's a cross-reference to the abridgment to the New International Dictionary and New Testament Theology, and again, you have to have purchased that first, the page numbers are hot linked, so you can click on them and you go to that page number. Now, not necessarily to the article, but to the page. So again, hold down the Option key, click on Browser, and you can get down to your article much more quickly. And here's Verlin's abridgment of the article in Zoe. Between my concise dictionary, the expository dictionary, and Verlin's abridgment, this is all that the vast majority of you are ever going to need to access in terms of doing Greek word studies. Zondervan has worked really hard on helping me produce and Verlin produce content that we're proud of, and Accordance has worked really, really hard to make those modules accessible and friendly and interactive and all the things that you can do in Accordance. So I'd really encourage you to pick up these resources. If you go to my website, if you go to technia.com/Greek primer, and then you click on class orientation, which is the first lesson in the primer, it takes you to a series of links where you can see the different packages that Accordance has out there for my stuff. And you can go through and see which one's applicable for you, or you can just pick up the different modules independently. My translation, which comes with the dictionary, expository dictionary, the GNT, and if you go down, here's a link for Verlin's abridgment. Now let me show you one other thing they did in 9.5 that's really neat. And I'm going to clear out the screen a bit. They have now an interlinear layout. And so you can click there and you can see word for word what's going on. And remember to notice the instant details, it's working as well. Now you can configure this if you want. If you don't want the part of speech, you don't have to have it. And if you want to have, let's say, the word itself in its inflected form, you can choose it. And you can save different configurations and save them under different names if you want. Now, this is basically a reverse interlinear. Now, if you want a more traditional interlinear, then just start with the GNT text, go into your interlinear mode, configure it the way you want it, and you'll notice that what you can do is that you can add in different translations actually within the interlinear, as long as you have the Strong's version of that particular translation. So now you have a traditional interlinear with inflected, lemma, and some translations. And again, the instant details box is still showing you all of its information. So this is a really nice enhancement in Accordance 9.5, and especially for those of you who do the Greek for the Rest of Us approach, the tools approach, you're going to find this invaluable. So our hats off to Accordance.